Hey guys and gals, got another one for you today. Today we move into the Russian tanks and we start with the STI or ST1 argument over that. I just call it the STI because sexually transmitted infection is fun to think that the Russian people named the tank after. Alright, so STI, fun, great tank. A lot of people suggest new players go up this line to get this tank. And then they say don't get the IS-4. However, that is not good advice. The IS-4 is a beast. Now, you have to know how to play the IS-4. If you're a new player, it probably is pretty frustrating. But then I was a new player and playing the E100 and the 113, and I thought those tanks were like the worst heavy tanks in the game, and then I learned how to play the game. So Erlenberg encounter match, not really what you're looking for in your STI, but we'll try to get something done here. Move up here, use the house as cover, see if we can get shots into anything that's out of the field in A7, A8. It does not look like there's anything over there. Just that lonely Centurion, which is unfortunate because he's in the low ground too, so we're not going to have like 3 shots there. The bloom on this thing is horrendous. The accuracy is not great, so with the 75% crew, it's tragic. So M103 there, aiming, and we break his track. Oh, we didn't even break his track, we just crit his track. Alright, looking for shots, block that shot. The STI, you really want to be up close and personal. The reload time is pretty bad as well, so the alpha's good, penetration's good, and that's where it ends with this gun. The armor's fantastic, unless you find someone that knows how to pen you reliably, and then at that point you're probably going to die fast because your DPM is bad. But that goes with any tank, so that's kind of a cop-out when people say stuff like that. When you find someone that knows how to pen you, I mean, it doesn't matter what tank you're in. If they know how to pen you, then probably not going to live very long. Yeah, I'm just trying to fill some space because this game is boring. It's definitely not a sniper. Shot into the 713's turret though. Nope. We will crit his viewport. That's what we'll do. Alright, this tank line is pretty solid. I think it's a very noob-friendly line. The lower tiers are some of the best heavy tanks in the game. The IS is good. And then it branches off to the KV-4. And a lot of people hate the KV-4. I actually didn't mind it too much. I thought it was a good tank. I mean, my biggest memory from the KV-4 was when Hoops and I won 15 games in a row without one of us dying. Or I'm sorry, was it 15? I don't even remember what that streak was. It was 11. Whatever. We had a long streak, and it was in our KV-4s. We didn't have great drivers back then. We weren't very great at the game, but there's a couple epic carries each of us had to have to keep that streak alive. And we were up against tier 10s, and we were balancing damage. It's got a good gun. It's like a crappy STI in my opinion. And we get to the STI, and a lot of people don't like the stock grind on it, but I didn't think it was too bad. I could make the turret work. The gun wasn't fantastic by any means, but if you can play support heavy role, then you're fine. Missed the shoulder plate of that 257 there, which is unfortunate. Switch to heat, because even if his shoulder plate is well angled, my heat shell should go through every time. And the M103 destroys my gun. But we have, or my gunner, we have a med kit, so we'll fix that. Finally, we get a shot into the M103. And the Centurion has our side, so 257. You can't just auto-lock shot me. You get a shot into his shoulder plate, and then the Centurion takes us down. So we did block 2,000 damage. We got 800 damage ourselves, and just poor positioning on the map. I feel like I should have just taken my time to go back south and maybe go into the city from the south, or set up better defense to help the team not give up the south. I'm not sure. I'm gonna speed this up, get to end game stats. And the Reds played Erlenberg pretty well. They took the outside flanks, worked it slow, took the middle, got a bunch of crossfires, and punished everyone for making mistakes. Where my team generally just one at a time went out in the open, died, and the rest of us were sitting on the 9-0 line and just ran out of numbers of tanks. So game over. You get 215 XP there, which is tragic. It's gonna not bode very well for the STI in this competition. We did block 2,000, so that's pretty solid. No assist damage, 857 damage dealt, so that's the first battle. And definitely doesn't tell the whole tale of the STI. The STI, I've trained a few crews in this because you don't need 100% crews with lots of skills to be good in the STI. Now it helps, of course, because it helps every single tank, but the STI can thrive close quarters combat without exceptional driver. Its survivability is very good. This is one tank that can, in my opinion, reliably take Death Star shells in front of the turret. Or shit barns. It's laughable. There's gonna be some of you out there that are like, Mav, I would destroy you if I got to get a hold of that cupola with my Death Star. And you may, but you also may miss hit the front of my turret and do 300 damage. Alright, so not another map that is not really going to bode well for the STI unless we can get a close quarters combat fight in like A4, B4. If the Reds actually send their tanks there and we get there without losing too many hit points, we should be able to have a formidable fight there. I don't like how our team is all going to the one line. It does not look very good. However, some of them are just continuing to push out into the field. So if they go, I go. If they don't go, I probably still go anyways. Do you have a heavy tank down there? STI, alright. Sounds good. And they got a Conqueror hiding in the back, sniping. say don't play your Conqueror like that, but I've seen people have monster games sniping at distance, all down in their Conqueror slash Super Conqueror slash Chieftains. I know it annoys the heck out of me that people enjoy playing this game like that. It works, so do what you want, do what makes you happy, and this is showing off how strong this turret armor is. So we took a clip from the T-57 Heavy. We're looking for that Conqueror. Conqueror's not going to poke out. He doesn't want to expose himself. So let's get on this STI. He shoots. So that's going to be my answer to drive up here. And we're going to look for a shot. Conqueror. Kind of go for a cheek shot. And I knew better than that, but give it a shot. Already slams him. So we're picking up some assist damage, not a lot, but when I start driving over, that's when the Conqueror pulls up. Take the STI's track off. Now I realize that the Conqueror is just going to come over and hit me, which is annoying. And then he backs up. Already misses him. And now our close quarters combat has now turned into long range fighting again in the STI, where it does not thrive. So I think what I should do is start to push down the 3 line, or 4 line, but stay on my team's side. But I kind of want to get this Conqueror out, and since my IS-7 was going for it, I am going to go for him as well. And I damage his viewport. He pens me because he's shooting down into my turret, and that is very weak. Top of the turret. The back of the ship barn, and aiming, and right as I pull the trigger, he pops up, which is not very good. The shot there, Mustardmav. Alright, so we're almost loaded, and he decides, okay, I'm just going to drive towards the scope. That's going. This game is not going very well. Which is really a bummer, because I'd love to feature this tank and what it's capable of. Just because I really enjoyed this tank. I kept it, obviously. Yeah, honestly reminds me a lot of a T-29. Big gun for its tier. Gun handling helps balance it a little bit. Strong turret. Below average mobility. Kind of frustrating with that shot. With his Cupola, we bounce off. So we switch to heat just in case we get the opportunity to make that shot again. If we had heat in, would have went through. And there we get it through, but he also gets it through. My positioning, I'm leaning down, so I'm not really taking advantage of my armor, because I'm leaned forward, so he can probably see the top of my turret. Now, I was kind of frustrated that these guys didn't just go down and kill him, so I pinged for them to do it. And this E5 player is no joke. He knows what he's doing. And all of a sudden, the Reds make it a game. However, you can see they're spread out too thin. Our team's still working together. So the TDs were a little late, I think, on getting off that hill, but they got off it together and they're working together, so that's going to help us win this game. And unfortunately, there's going to be games where you just don't get the close quarters combat fighting that you need in the STI. There's games where you'll get long distance fighting in the STI, but RNG will be on your side. That just wasn't the case here. Death Star takes out their chieftain. T95 takes their wizard. Now there's just the 2 TDs. Just the 2 TDs and E0 and then Artie. I feel like I should have sped this up faster. So I was thinking about adding wins to the requirements of being able to get the playoffs of this whole battle. We could add wins to it. We could also add kills to it. That'll throw 6 tanks into the playoffs. Alright, so how are we doing so far? Well, we 800 damage, 1000 assisted, brings us up to 1700 damage total, 1000 assisted, 2500 blocked, which isn't bad, and then 1200 XP earned. That's not gonna fare well against the tier 9 heavies that gets 3 wins. It's just not gonna work. Alright, so let's jump into game 3. Hopefully we can feature the STI in a better matchup. Stats, holy cow. Alright, we're on Cliff. Now, my heart tells me go to F2, E3. My mind tells me to go with the team, because I've already thrown down 2 honestly pretty terrible games in the STI, so to build it back up I should play semi-safe. This tank cannot be caught out alone. Its TPM is just too tragic. Not to mention its effective TPM isn't that great when you take in accordance of the bad gun handling. If you're not hitting your shots, you're lowering your DPM even more. But you can see I didn't listen to my head. I listened to my heart, and we're already down to half health. Fighting a 257 once again. Alright, so I was going for a tracking shot, that way he couldn't circle me. Not that super fast, but he's faster than me. Get a shot into his butt, and I'd like to get an angle on him. We blocked it with our gun. So now our crappy gun handling gets to worse gun handling. We want to shoot him high in the sides. Luckily able to get that shot in. Even with a broken gun. The heavy tank dance. We're able to take him down, but now this Type 4 has come around the corner to fight me as well. And the 257 gets a teammate to come around the corner and help him. However, I do not get a teammate to come around the corner and help me. They are shooting him, but now that he's with me, not going to be able to make this happen, I don't think. Alright, so we're going to drive on the side, but now here comes another tank. And it's too bad I got pushed out sideways. I mean, I backed up too far, but then the Type 4 made sure that I was locked and loaded. Out in the open in front of them, 103. So a quick exit there. Sadly, the STI is probably not going to play some playoffs here. 1300 damage, 1200 blocked. I mean, it might get the blocked, top blocked, but I doubt it. We've still got some tanks to go, like the Motion, Type 4 Heavy, 50 TP. I mean, there's really any heavy tank that's coming up that could get a lot of block damage, so just needs the right maps, right games. While I was busy fighting F2, my team took the rest of the map, like I figured they would. I mean, I was supposed to go with my head and follow them, probably get some damage along with them. However, the STI is slow, so I could just trail them the whole time. Maybe only get 2 shots and that'd be my game, so maybe I did do the right thing. I just could have played it better. Alright, as they corral the last 3 guys, the last 3 campers that can't all game long. Talk about the STI line one more time. It just, I can't remember a bad tank on that line. I don't think there is one. Post below if you can think of a tank that's pretty tragic on this line. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to say KV4, but I disagree with that. It's definitely not like a tank that you take out and rip up, but it's a formidable tank, especially for a new player. But you throw down 1300 damage, 1200 block, 700 assisted. What does that amount to? Well, hopefully the stats pop up here in a second. It brings us to 3076 damage, 1700 assisted, 3700 blocked, which is respectable, and 2160 XP earned. Not enough XP to get out there. Really the only way this thing's getting in there is with the block damage, but I gotta suck pretty bad, I think, in some of my other heavy tanks to not get more block damage than that in 3 games. So unfortunately, some bad maps for the STI, bad map locations, and some bad decision making by Mustardmav. But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.